So here we are. Yeah, so this is my, I'm water fasting and I'm using you to get leverage, well, I don't want to disappoint you and I'm vain. Look at my face and look at my eyes and, you know, there's been a bunch of break-ins lately and I'm not really interested in that. I want to just talk more about what I want to do with my life. And, I have my support system, I have my internal unity between my chakras. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling clean. There's nothing you can hook me on, there's nothing you can blackmail me with. And I have to say that because, that sounds kind of suspect. Like, well, there's nothing I've done, I got nothing to hide. You can't turn up any rock and find some dirt on me. I swear I'm innocent. I mean, why are you looking at me like that? You have to say that point, even though it looks suspect, because they're trying so hard to convince you that you're a bad person, and they have made being innocent illegal. So you have to say I'm innocent because they're making it illegal to be innocent. They're making it illegal to not partake in their criminality. And that's part of their strategy. That's a main part of their strategy, is to make innocence illegal. So even though with no fear of looking like you're hiding something, you have to preemptively say, I didn't do anything. I don't deserve this. These people are hurting me, and I didn't do anything to deserve this. I'm a good person. Leave me alone. What the fuck is wrong with you? Clearly you can't stand the light of day. So anyways, I have my water here, so I'm trying to do a water fast. I think something has changed in the mindset of me because I feel more on top of it today. I just feel like enough screwing around. Just do it, man. My birthday is next month on March 19, and don't you want to give yourself a birthday gift and have, a water fast for a month before you do, your birthday? Isn't that like you're an old man, you're not getting any younger. You want to do this water fast, don't you? And yeah, and have I done a water fast before? Yeah, for a week, and it was great. And I had a cyst on my back. It was my first water fast. And I had a cyst on my back for a year, like a pimple that wouldn't pop. Gross, I know. But it was there, and I've watched enough pimple popper videos to see those things removed. And they say you have to remove the placenta, or else the cyst is going to grow back because there's a sac that they're in. So my first week-long water fast, the swelling went down. It was like the size of like, I don't know what the size was, but it was like bigger than a pimple. It was like a boil or something, but it was like a hard, you couldn't pop it no matter, and I tried many times. I made it bleed many times. And then, the first water fast for 7 days, it went way down, and I knew it would because I knew what that is made out of is cellular waste. I knew that my kidneys are backed up, my kidneys are blocked. When the cell excretes waste, then the lymphatic fluid takes it out the urine. But when the kidneys are blocked up, when the lymphatic fluid is blocked up, then the cell waste sinks back into its own tissue, wherever it came from. And so when the kidneys get all blocked up, then the emergency channels have to be used, like the skin. So you have to get the cellular waste out the skin. It comes out on your tongue, out your mucous membranes, and it comes out in the form of cysts, which you should be able to pop, but you can't pop them sometimes. I don't know why. I mean, I guess you could if you used a knife. And so I knew that water fast would be removing the blockages in my kidneys, and it would be allowing that waste in that cyst to be pissed out, basically. And so it did. It shrunk down a lot. And then I did another water fast for one day, a few days after maybe like a week or two after my week-long water fast. And then I could pop the cyst. It just came right. I could literally pull it out, and it just like fell off basically. And now it's completely flush. Now I have no spot where, if you tried to find where it used to be, you couldn't find it. And I knew it worked like that. And it was satisfying to say, yeah, I know it works like that, even though it's my first time. I know this is going to work. And then seeing it confirmed, there was something satisfying about that. And so I know the science of blah, blah, blah. I know, it's not really about knowing it's going to work. It's about, am I ready for it? Do I have enough to live for? Do I have a future worth living into that's good enough that I want to take care of myself? Do I have the strength to pay the disciplinary price of not eating junk food? And those two, yes and yes, that's how I feel. And partially because I like making these videos, I have an audience to show off for. I weigh like 210 pounds. I'd have to check, but I was thinking I should weigh myself every day if I do a fast. And I'm just frankly tired of beating up on myself every day. I eat food and I go, no, you're not supposed to eat. You're supposed to be water fasting. Why are you eating for? And, we had some break-ins recently. My food got poisoned. I think someone was in my room. I don't exactly know, and so I'm working on staying centered in spite of all of that. And I have my support group, someone else. I already talked about this in a previous video, but someone else was like, as soon as I post the picture of the poison in my food, or whatever it is, it's like something that shouldn't be there in my food. And sometimes, I think it's poison. I think because it looked like old food. It looked like something from our green bin that they put in my chip bag. And you'd think that would be infested with bacteria. You'd think they're trying to give you a bacterial infection or something. Now, of course, they don't understand that bacterial infection doesn't exist. All bacteria is good. You get sick when you eat bacteria. You share bacteria, you get sick because your bacteria are rats that eat the garbage. If your kidneys are backed up, then your bacteria eat cell crab to make it more transient so your lymph fluid can remove it. And so if you are backed up full of cell crab, then bacteria, certain more aggressive bacteria, can be dangerous to you, but only indirectly because they're eating your cell crab, digesting it, liquefying it, making it more transient for your lymph fluid, which is 80% of the fluid between your cells, not blood, to move it out of your kidneys. And so, but that spreads it into your tissue more. Your lymph fluid is everywhere. Everywhere that your blood is, your lymph fluid is too, but they're separate. And so, because the lymph fluid is more fatty based, kind of like oil and water, how they don't mix, you wouldn't have your lymph fluid and your blood mix. You wouldn't mix where your waste goes and where your food goes. Your blood brings your food to your cells. Your lymph removes your cell waste to your kidneys. You wouldn't have those two mix. That wouldn't make sense. But science, medical science, says that those two mix. Ask a doctor how the cells get the waste. How does the waste go from the cell to the urine? Ask a doctor that. They won't say it's your lymph fluid. They'll say it's your blood. That's like saying you eat that's like saying you eat through your ass. Like it's that retarded. You'd have to be full retard to believe that. So anyways, what am I talking about? I gotta drink water, really. And the reason you believe in viruses, contagions, it's because that supports your monogamy. And if you don't have those, then you don't have monogamy. So it's really an emotional reason. Those are the basis for your monogamy. And of course, a relationship is the death of love, and marriage is the coffin. And it's all about sexual repression. And if you can make someone sexually repressed, You can make them retarded. If you can make them retarded, you can make them miserable. If you can make them miserable, you can turn them into a gang stalker. So you'd think they'd go into a green bin, they'd get some, dirty food, put it in my chip bag or something. It's all full of bacteria. It'd give me an infection, and that would be the perfect thallium-like poison. Thallium is the poisoner's poison because it leaves no trace. So you'd think they'd put something just like shit in your food, or something that's just purely bacterial, so it gives you an infection. But infection doesn't exist. What they call infection is just blood and lymph pooling to where there's an injury in your body to heal it, to feed it, and to clean it. But again, you can only have that. You can only have bad bacteria, quote, if you are full of shit to begin with. So you'd think it's like the perfect, I don't know, a cover-up. You just infect someone. Don't give them a traceable poison. Give them just something that looks organic. Just give them bacteria. You can't. How can you trace bacteria? Well, you could say, I found this weird thing in my bag of chips. That how did that weird thing in my bag of chips get there? Clearly someone put that there. Clearly we know that CSIS, the Canadians, the people, the FBI of Canada, that's CSIS. Clearly we know they work for the CIA and the FBI, and they have a COPS program, which they write about on their website, but they don't include the break-ins. They don't include the, drugging your food, making you, sometimes I drink my almond milk and then I have to run to the toilet after. I can't, it's like they're putting X-Lax or something in this almond milk. And so I can't even drink my almond milk, And that's that kind of weighs in on me. I'm kind of like, well, why don't I just do a fast, eat fruit, because that's the plan, because we are frugivores, fruitarians. We are frugivores. And how will they poison that? Will they get a needle and inject my apple with something? Don't eat all this. Kind of, part of me. This is insane, but part of me is saying, on the karmic scale, if you're eating cooked food, you're wasting your life, and so you deserve to be poisoned anyway. Now, part of me is more humanitarian. Part of me says, no, you're doing the best you can, actually. Actually, you need the anesthetic of that junk food because you're in so much pain. You're going to go fucking crazy for real. So you actually need to eat an apple fritter. Okay? And part of me is saying, no. I have a support network. I have friends. I have people I care about who care about me. And I thought about it. I thought, what if I actually just died? How would these people feel? Oh, wouldn't, because I was really relishing in it. Wouldn't they just miss me so much? And then I thought, how would they feel? And it made me actually feel bad. I thought it would make me feel good that, they miss me so much. Isn't it so great? And then I thought, well, wouldn't they be upset? And wouldn't that make me upset? They feel even more alone. They feel even more traumatized, more helpless. And then I had this moment where I was like, they need me. And it wasn't like an egotistical moment. It was like, I'm valued here. That's a great feeling to have that feeling. And so, I mean, that's part of it. Why would I want to be healthy? Why would I want to water fast? To be closer to these people that I love. And, the best way I could do that is by upgrading my brain, upgrading how, why would you want to get healthy? Really, why would you want to get healthy? Why don't you just do heroin? Why don't you do heroin? What's the, why do you if you have a certain standard, why do you maintain that at all? And why do you want to get a better standard? What's the reason behind that? Is it to impress Sally at work? Is it to be a better friend? To to get a better marathon time, to get more views on your podcast, to get a better car, to get a better house, to, there's this one guy I watch, I don't like him, but he's like, I'm a millionaire. That's a lifestyle. I can't just go eat a fucking hot dog. And I really don't like this guy. This guy, there's something so slimy about him, but I love him. I love him too. I can't watch him. I can't watch him anymore. He panders so hard. He panders so hard. But he has some, he is a millionaire based off his populist movement of eating fruit. And you could see that he means it when he says, like, I'm a millionaire because I have this lifestyle. You could see that it's literally true. Even if the way he does it is by getting people to shout and say, yeah, we support you. We like some kind of evangelical preacher or something. You could see that he does maintain his prowess, like his mental acuity through his diet. You could, his sharpness is clearly because he's drinking green smoothies every morning, and he only eats fruit, and except for green smoothies, and he drinks, he got his old mucoid plaque out of his system. Mucoid plaque is another one of those things. If you look up that, it'll be the same as gangstalking. You'll have all these fakes. You'll have these people who eat psyllium husk and these things that congeal in their stomach, and then they shit that out, and then they say, look, that's the mucoid plaque, but it's not the mucoid plaque, and it detracts, because then someone says, well, mucoid plaque doesn't exist because that's just what you get when you eat a bunch of like wet cement, and then you shit out this cement in the shape of your intestines because it comes out ribbed. So people say, look, see, it was formed on the inside of my intestines. And there's a lot of the first time I really found out about the corruption of the industry was with this mucoid plaque when I was going raw vegan, and I was telling my doctor about it, and he just wouldn't listen. And I was just like, this is so obviously true. You're just you're not even interested in listening to me. You're not even giving me the chance. And I'm logical. I don't know what the deal is. And then I realized I do know what the deal is. The deal is you're told, that's what you're taught. And you're told that anything to the contrary that's how you know when you beat a hypocrite. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to accuse you of cheating. When a lesser intelligence meets a higher intelligence, the lesser intelligence will actually believe that the higher is cheating. The next step they're going to do, if it still doesn't solve it, if they can't beat you by accusing you of cheating, the next step that they're going to do is they're going to accuse you of being insane. And then that's going to lead to, well, you got to get drugged, you got to get, you got to you got to be lobotomized. That's the next step. Isn't it sad? So what's the difficulty of water fasting? Okay, difficulty 1, having to pee all the time. Difficulty 2, I don't like peeing while I sleep. I don't wet the bed, but I mean, I wake up to pee and I can't get back to sleep and I hate it. So once I wake up to pee, then I'm up. Usually. But if I'm water fasting, then it's like, well, I got to wake up to pee 5 times that night. And yeah. And then I have my foreskin restoration. And so I have this device I wear that stretches my foreskin, going to the bathroom all the time to put it on and take it off and put it on and take it off. And then you have to use spit to lubricate it. But then to touch it in my mouth, it will break my water fast. So I have to spit on it and rub it around with my finger. And then it's just too much work. It's like, but that's not the main of it. The main part that I really don't like about water fasting is having to go to the bathroom all the time And not only that, because by the time you go to the bathroom, you've already been feeling it for a little while. It's sitting all this time, where like half of my time or more is spent with that feeling like I have to go to the bathroom. And I try to get rid of it by just going to the bathroom more. I'm just peeing out like 5 drops. Just 1 second. I'll be with you in just one moment. I have to get a new song. But that's not why I'm taking this intermission. There's another reason why. I'm having an emotional blockage right now, and for a reason that I feel uncomfortable to explain. And in the meantime, I'll just talk about my eyelids, which are doing pretty well. I have a kind of paralyzed left eyelid here. I think my emotional blockage is starting to heal. And what was I talking about again? I don't know. Maybe that's about it. Having to pee, that's the difficulty. Other than that, it's okay. Other than that, fasting is okay. Yeah, it's difficult. There's a lot of your blood pressure drops. Um, you have to get up really slowly. You're lightheaded sometimes. You have to really drink the right amount of water, or else you get a headache. There's the danger of, do you tell people about it? And then if you do tell people about it, they're going to be telling you not to do it. But then they're saying, but you gotta snow blow the driveway. And then you say, well, yeah, yeah, I know you would give me a pass on that if I told you I was water fasting, but then, you're gonna hold me accountable to really do my water. Just on the days that someone asks me to do something, to lift something, on those days I'm water fasting. Because then I'm gonna feel bad if I just give up my water fast the next day, but the previous day I had used it as an excuse to get out of something. So there's kind of an accountability it holds on to. Like, if I'm really water fasting, then, and you could do stuff. There are people who do. You're not really supposed to do anything while you water fast. There are three electrolytes. I think it's potassium, chloride, and sodium, and those have to be in a particular balance. And if those are not in a certain balance, you can die. You can actually die water fasting. Probably not in a week. You probably most people wouldn't die in a week of water fasting, but there are people who, I've heard of like a handful of people who have died, who have done it for like a month, but they've done something fucked up. Like they'll eat a burrito. They'll do a month-long water fast, and then they'll eat a burrito or something, or eat some miso soup, something with a lot of salt. You can kill yourself by eating 50 grams of salt, but if you ate like 25 grams of salt, as someone who never eats salt, that would kill you. So people don't realize, and people die with lots of drugs like that. And cooked food is a drug. They quit for a while, and then they start up again, and they don't realize that their tolerance has changed, and their dosage has changed, and they do their old dosage, and that kills them. And I think my beloved Prince, I love him because he's vegan. And I think he was targeted. I don't know. I heard he was targeted, but who knows? I think that's how he died. And I like him too because he's a diva. He's just like, he just has that, like, I don't know. There's something I really like about it. And so, anyways, um, I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. So I'm gonna try playing Sekiro. I got to this boss called Genichiro. He's so hard. I can't even beat him. I don't even know how to beat him. People are saying on Reddit he's the mid-level boss to show you if you're playing the game right or not. And clearly I'm playing it wrong. I'm beating it in such a hodgepodge way. I'm ducking and diving and I can't I can't even come close to beating this guy. Like not even it's just absurd. And people are saying complaining, "Oh, it took me 40 tries." I'm like, it would take me like 500 like for real, like probably 500 tries. And there's this other boss named Lady Butterfly who I haven't beat yet. And maybe I had to beat her first to get some kind of upgrade to beat Genichiro. Because Genichiro's, I don't know how main of a boss he is. Like, maybe there's multiple bosses. Because some of these people they play and they throw, they strike their sword, and when they do it, there's like this big red streak on the screen and a black streak. I don't have any of those. And the streaks are to imply that their sword is more powerful. They clearly have some upgrade. Mine, I have like barely any upgrade. Like I have the Makiri counter, like my upgrade is when someone thrusts a sword at me, I can step on it. And then and then that throws them off balance for a minute. And I could barely do that. The Makiri counter, I think I've done two Makiri counters successfully, and those are apparently a main move. But anyways, I'm sorry to bore you with that. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't water fast. No, sorry, I'm thinking like three things right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do if well actually that's true. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't water fast. That actually haunts my bones. That's like if you don't do that, you're just gonna be this old dirty man. You're gonna be a gross, unlovable. You're the best you could hope for is to keep going where you're at. And is that really growth? They say growth or death. No in between, one or the other. Is that really growth just to sustain? Because you say, well, I'll just sustain. No. You could take a break for a minute. You could take a little hiding spot vacation, but you can't live there. So how long have I been on vacation for? I'm going to have to start off with this water fast. And that does haunt me. What am I going to do if I don't water fast? Nothing. That's the And you can't believe it too, right? Like you can't believe it's funny how the world works, how fate works, coincidence, life, you try so hard to make it with these people who are stabbing you in the back. You want their blessing. You want to know that you have their approval, and they will never approve of you. And you're haunted by them having fun without you. You want to be at their party so bad, and you're and then you go through your metamorphosis, and you see you're shocked. You think the world can't be this many people who are all bad, who are all fake, and and you think they can't all be bad, but then you think, well, they're fake, but they're hiding something with like utmost priority. They're really doing their best to cover this up. That would suggest more than hypnosis, more than that they're just misguided and lost. It would suggest that they're knowingly, willfully malignant, harmful, that they're saying, yes, we know, like, nod, nod, wink, wink. We know what we're doing and we're keeping it all a secret because we know it's bad and we are all in on the secret. Huh? You like, what are you going to do? And so you get that realization that comes, that as someone who's not like that, you are shocked. You can't believe that that's the truth. And then when you finally realize it, you look back at these people and you wanted their approval so bad, but then you see that they were stabbing you in the back the whole time. Maybe that's why you wanted their approval, because you felt like you never had it. You felt subliminally that they were stabbing you in the back, and you were thinking, hey, what did I do? Why don't you like me? Like the oldest trick in the book, just put gum in someone's hair, and then, they'll want your approval. Just hurt someone, abuse someone, and they'll want your approval. That's how do you make someone like you? By bullying them. Bully them into submission, and then they will like you. That seems to be the framework that so many people are running on. So you find that out, and you're just like, oh my God. And then you have your new audience of people, your new friend group. But with those people you have real friendship. And then you feel that you have something incomparably better to what you could have and did have before, where you had these fake relationships with these fake people, with these dumb assholes. Now you have real friendship with real people. And it's funny how the world works, in a sense. Not that you say it's all good and this is karma and I'm glad it all happened, but basically that. You're like, well, now I have better relationships. Now I have a more wise understanding of how people are and what people are and how the world works. And now I have more coherent, articulate footing to fight against these people, because we have, probably of all the people being human trafficked, we have it the best. We're not, in general, probably we have it the best. So we're at the front line of exposing it, and it's not that we're do-gooders, it's not like I'm saying like, well, I feel so bad about all those people, it just so happens that the people doing this to me are the people doing this to, I think, I could be wrong, but I think that all the people doing this to me are one global network of human trafficking, and all human trafficking is done by this same global network. So it just so happens that if I were a humanitarian, the people who I would attack are the people who I'm already attacking for doing this to me. And so, it puts us in a position to help. Like, if you value this world, aren't you going to spend your whole life fighting these people? I mean, if you value your life, aren't you going to spend your whole life fighting these people? So it puts us in the position where we understand what's going on enough that we can talk about it in a way that does fight them. The exposure is the last thing they want. We're in the information age now. And so exposure is the last thing they want. Because as we're not in the well, I mean, who knows? Who knows what age we're in? But just as a hypothesis, if we're not in the blunt force age anymore, if we are in the information age, and an axe is not the way to win the argument anymore, the people who are fighting against, the only argument they have is an axe. And so the way we will beat them is through the information. So we are in the best position now to fight these people, to make the world better. And to some extent, yeah, like, do I have empathy for people who have it worse than me? I don't know. I think about my own life, yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I think I can't even imagine what it would be like to have it worse than me. And I think, and I can't even imagine. So what am I supposed to do? Pretend? But I know before this happened to me, I couldn't have imagined it could be this bad for me. I couldn't have imagined that there'd be this many people covering it up. And so I know that sets precedent that there could be and would be and are many people who have it worse than me, and the cover-up is just as hidden in plain sight for them. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel the ghost of those people. I think of the ghost of some dead person who had it worse than me, and they talk to me, and I imagine that that's true for some sort of sentimental value. Is it actually true? I don't know, but there's some sort of sentimental value I get that the ghost of some dead person who got trafficked worse than me is saying that's the right thing to do, and I go, yeah, that's right. Hey, I got your back, ghost. Hey, thanks, ghost. I got your back. You know, and whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. It's my feelings. You know, it's how I feel. It's something I think for some kind of sentimental enjoyment, I guess. Or maybe there really is a ghost talking to me. I don't know, but I don't care. You know, I'm not trying to prove that in a court of law. The only thing I want to prove in a court of law is that CSIS is doing this to me. The police are doing this to me. There's an institution, there's a cabal of provable, non-ghost people. There's real, literal, provable, factual evidence that shows that this is happening. And the only way that it's not provable is if you don't look, if you throw the evidence out, if you go to the police station, then you just don't listen to the person making the complaint. You know, if I do believe the public is on our side. I do think that without suppression, I think their weapons, if they're fighting the information battle too, if our enemies are fighting the information battle, their weapons are to suppress us, to make sure we don't get views, and to create psyops. And I think their psyops are not working, and so, well, yeah, their psyops kind of, I guess, work. I don't know. Yeah, I think that their psyops do work. Because I think that's why we don't get that many views to begin with. But maybe not. Maybe their psyops don't work. Because they have all the social media executives in their back pocket. And so you could put in filters. Anyone talks about this, stop them from getting views. Stop them from getting monetized. And so, you know, maybe the psyops aren't working and it really is just hardcore suppression. You just don't get an audience, you know, the natural organic audience that would be given to you had you not been shuffled out of sight would be much higher. There would be people saying, yes, yes, this is real. Yes, equally unimaginable things have happened to us, and so we do believe it. We do know how far they will go to gaslight, how egregious it is, how huge the network is. Yeah, it is that petty, it is that violent, it is that heinous. I don't know what I'm doing either, but it's working. I'm into this. I'm really feeling this. Okay, well, you know, that was about all I got. I do have an itchy nose. Yeah, it's a bad association to scratch my face. Sometimes I have an itchy face, sometimes I cough, you know. Um, why, you know, but why do I have an itchy nose? I don't know. I think it might be some kind of performance anxiety. I think that's what it is. Because I've had this a few times during this video. Maybe it's just because I'm noticing it. Maybe, I mean, this video's been going on for 40 minutes. I think I've scratched my face 4 times. Maybe I'd scratch my face 4 times in 40 minutes, even if I didn't have the video, and I just wouldn't notice, other than that the video is making me more self-aware. So I actually don't know. I don't know what's going on with an itchy face. Maybe it's like some kind of ancestral thing, like I want to be groomed. Like I think I'm talking to, like I'm a monkey, and I'm like showing like, look, you gotta like groom me for me because it's like a social thing. I mean, I don't know. Um, I have teeth problems too. That's the other thing. Water fasting will help with that. Changing my diet will help. Do you think if you look at all the monkeys, they don't lose their teeth. All the animals, they don't lose their teeth. They don't wear glasses. But just look at their teeth especially. They keep their teeth till the end of their life. That's because when you cook food, you make it more acidic. And that corrodes that corrodes your teeth. I got a good song on. Yeah, well, there's really nothing else to say. So I'm gonna go now, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just gonna. I could go for a walk. There'll probably be another break-in if I do that. Though they might even poison our food. I think I've had 2 threats of vehicular assault recently, just for my going out for walks. Do I think Donald Trump is going to end this nonsense? I have no idea. Do I think he even really got shot in the ear? I kind of don't. I don't really know. Do I think it was all just a ploy? Just to a good pimp doesn't control a bitch's body. He controls her mind. Is this just pimpology 101? Okay, get the blood pack. Just don't even bother. Just get your secret agent to paint a line on your cheek. Like, how did the blood go from his ear to his? It's like he has lipstick blood. He has like a little streak right here, but there's no line that goes all the way from his ear to his streak. It just looks like they painted it on with a brush. I mean, I don't know. Just doesn't it? And he's like, we're gonna go after the bad guys, and it's like, yeah, but we know you're the good cop. But is it still the routine? We know that you're doing things that the bad cop wouldn't do. We know that the bad cop wouldn't do these good things that we like. We are very happy you're doing these things. But is it still part of the routine? Is it like the pimpology routine? That, oh, we got the good cop. Hurrah. I don't know. I really don't know. Well, then they assassinated Kennedy. He wanted to abolish the CIA. Could Trump be a good cop in the good cop routine with no intent of affecting the worldwide human trafficking ring, the gang stalking, while also being such a good cop, still in the routine, that they try to really kill him for real? Could he be a bad player, a bad, corrupt person who is not going to help us, who they still want to kill? If they actually tried to kill him, does that prove that he's actually on our side? If they're all bad players, wouldn't they be killing each other left and right for any reason anyways? And sometimes I just do have hair in my face. That's the thing too. That can make you itchy. Got hair in my mouth. Okay, well, this interview here is brought to you by courtesy of the Shure SM11 microphone, my favorite microphone of all time. Plugged directly into my GoPro Hero 8 presets preamp, using the preamp of the camera and using the iRig 2 preamp. So, anyways, because I have two preamps. So, anyways, let's just have a little goodbye. Let's just check my eye to make sure that it's a good note to leave on. Okay, well, goodbye.